Hello, my loves. Welcome back. My name is Antonio McNeil, your favorite Gen Z realtor, entrepreneur, hustler, and go-getter. Welcome back to my channel, dedicated for all aspiring Gen Z and Gen Y millennials looking to take their businesses to the next level. Also, all real estate related videos going over how to buy, sell, and invest in your own real estate, starting in your 20s, just like me. And if you are looking for similar videos like today's video, I would love for you to please like and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell button so you can get updates on when my new videos drop. I plan to post 3 videos a week, so you will not be disappointed in all the education that you will be getting from this channel. Thank you for watching, and again, welcome to my channel. And for today's video, we're going to discuss things that you should consider when buying your first home. Somewhat similar to the video I discussed about buying homes in California, I am going to discuss more in a detailed way what you should look out for when you are buying your first home, when you're writing the offer with your realtor, and how to go about negotiations and repairs, all that type of stuff. So let's get into it and enjoy the show. Home inspections are not mandatory, and especially in California, but they are highly recommended when you're buying a home using a home loan. Now, let's just say in a situation where you're buying a house, it's a fixer-upper, and you don't know what needs to be repaired or replaced in the property. Obviously, there are some things, but you don't know everything, right? This is where a home inspection becomes super handy. You would get a home inspector to go out there, look at the home that you're looking to buy, and they will give you a scope review of the roof, plumbing, electrical, things that they can see, that they can manage to get into, like attic spaces. If they can get into them, they will in certain cases. Now, home inspections are not like official plumbing reports or official electrical reports, so you have to get an electrician for the electrical report, like a specific report for that. But the home inspector does give you a really good idea of what you could request on repairs, because again, in California, every home is sold as is in most cases, right? So especially if you expect to get repairs done, you might not get that repair done. But if you have a home inspection and you see a repair that needs to be done prior to getting the home inspection, that home inspector is going to probably see the repair that you've seen, and they're going to make a note on it, have a photo on a home inspection report, and then you can send it to the seller agent, or your agent, I should say, will send it to the seller's agent and request a repair for you to get that work done from the seller. Again, does the seller automatically have to do the work? No. But again, having that home inspection is just giving you more leverage and showing more proof to the seller. There are things that should be addressed in this home before I buy it, so you might want to help me out here. And here's the report, and talk to your agent and see what we can do to come up with a good deal. What I would advise you on, though, is if you do find an amazing home, and let's say you get a home inspection report and there's a laundry list of items that are super minimal, that are not anything structural related, they're mainly cosmetic. Don't expect sellers to do a lot if it's just cosmetic, especially in a seller's market. I know right now in Southern California, especially in my area of Southern California, we're looking more still in the seller's market where there is low inventory and a lot of people out there buying. So a lot of buyers don't have leverage to get a bunch of repairs done in this climate, but there are certain cases where you could still get a sweet deal. I was gonna say a word, but I'm trying not to cuss. Now, a second thing that I would consider when getting your first home is consider having a starter home if you can. A starter home can be any type of home. It can be a single family home, but it could be a home that is just giving you the bare essentials that you need for starting at a first time home, right? So for example, a lot of people I know who are first-time home buyers, they first have this idea that they gotta get the palace. Okay, we gotta move up. Okay, we gotta go from nothing to something, like big something. And sometimes you don't want to do that, because if you're in a situation where, let's say you're single right now, okay, you are wanting to buy a 5-bedroom house or a 4-bedroom house, and you're thinking you're gonna be able to rent out all the rooms, you might go through a situation where, yeah, you could probably afford the loan and you could qualify for that $600,000 house, but what happens if you can't rent out all those rooms on a consistent basis and you have about a $3,200 plus mortgage and you only could really afford $2,400, and now you got to keep worrying every other month how you're going to afford the other $800 if you don't get those renters continuously, renting out your place. You want to just solely go off of finding a big ass house, expecting people to live in it with you and cover your expenses. Because let's just say in a situation where you have roommates, they might not be there in a couple months, whether they lost their job or whether it's a situation where it's not healthy for them to be in your house anymore, but you bought that house, even though you could qualify on your own, you bought that house intending for people to live in it, and now you got to find new renters. That might be a situation you put yourself in by buying that beautiful home where you could have waited to get with a family that you build on your own. Does that make sense? You're able to just get the minimum 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home or 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo versus the 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. You're most likely to be saving a lot on your monthly mortgage. You're most likely going to have a lot more money to save to buy the second home and then rent out the first home. So that is something that you really, really have to consider when getting your first home. Is this is not the only home. This is just one of the homes. And another point, most homes that you buy, which are your first homes, you outgrow within 5 to 7 years. So it's most likely the first home you get, you're going to want to sell it in 5 to 7 years. So if you start off with a big home, most likely you're going to either have a house for 5 to 7 years that you don't grow in, or you're going to just find excuses to hoard. Try to get a starter home if that's all you need. And if you are thinking financially, you want to think smart, it's smart to get a starter home if you don't need extra rooms, extra shebang bang. Finding a good rental investment location is something you should think about when buying your first home. Because again, let's just say in 5 to 7 years, you are ready to sell or leave your house, I should say. Don't sell your first house if you don't have to. Rent it out. Use that first house as a rental property if you can, and go buy a second house in 5 to 7 years. You want to find a location where you have opportunity to buy lower and have that location grow in time. So find an area where it's not fully developed yet. I've invested in those areas where they're not considered the greatest, but I've already seen returns myself just by buying back in 2019 in my location in San Diego. That's not considered the greatest, right? So just finding an area that is in a good city, but it might not be like in the heart of that good city, but it has room to grow in. Does that make sense? If you can lock in an area where there's room to grow, it's most likely you're going to have a chance to get a lower mortgage payment and lock in on a lower mortgage. And then in 5 to 7 years, when you're ready to leave that area is probably going to be a lot nicer within 5 to 7 years prior to you buying it. It's going to be a lot nicer now when you're ready to leave in 5 to 7 years. And now you're going to rent it out for a little bit more than your mortgage is, probably about a couple $100 more if it's 5 years after you're leaving. And now you're making money off of your first home, and now you're in your second home. As you can see, buying a starter home just puts you in a good advantage because you're not stressing yourself financially. You can think long term if you just get a starter home. And again, going back, thinking into that rental investment area, if you find an area where you can buy a house where you're not paying a crazy mortgage, it's just going to make it a more easier and relaxed situation for you. Especially being your first home, you don't want to be stressed out all the time with bills. You're already going to have the bill, your mortgage bill, and that's stressful enough. So you don't want to have a non-manageable bill, if that makes sense. And lastly, this is one thing to consider. You should consider this every time. No home will be perfect. No home will be perfect. I'm sorry. You are going to find something in that home that you loved, and then when you walk into it and you become a homeowner, you regret buying it for that same reason you loved it a month ago. Things like that happen all the damn time. Like, for example, my first property is in San Diego, but let me tell you, I only looked at like 4 freaking condos. It's so sad. I was like, like really desperate. I was like kissing ass at like the 3 sellers. Only thing I regret in that place is there's no patio. So that's the one thing I'm mad about. But at the end of the day, I'm looking back on everything I did right. I got the right location. It's a great rental area. I'm about to rent it out for $200 more than what my mortgage is. Now again, you don't want to be a shyster if you're a landlord and you do rent out to a person. Always be mindful of other people and their finances. Enjoy the lessons that you learn from it too, because you are going to have to fix your home. I mean, you're not a renter no more. You know, some people forget as a homeowner, you're not a renter no more, so you can't just call somebody to fix it. You know, it's like becoming a child now becoming an adult, because essentially that's what it is. When you're a tenant, you have a parent essentially to call to fix those repairs or those problems. Now that you're the homeowner, you have those problems, and it becomes a lot at first. But then you start realizing these are like things that you could do like on the weekend, like little like leaks with your faucet, and go get a new faucet. Hose spigot, go get a new hose spigot. Things like that. But if you are taking the advice on finding the right realtor, I'm pretty sure you will have an amazing experience on your first home purchase. And remember, it's the long term. Think about being a landlord, making money, retirement income. It's bigger picture. It's not just your first home, it's the foundation. Guys, thank you so much. Ladies, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I am so thrilled to be making these YouTube videos, to see all these videos being pushed out now, because I'm forcing myself and because you guys are pushing me to make this content. It just makes me super excited. So please, again, continue, like, subscribe, comment on what you want me to discuss in the future. Stay tuned for next week as I have more videos coming out for you. And again, thank you for watching my channel, and I will see you again next week.